Another big company we're going to be tracking, as always, Tesla. Shares are jumping this morning after Elon Musk wrapped up a surprise trip to China and came away with a big victory. Chinese officials reportedly telling Tesla that Beijing has tentatively approved the company's plan to launch its full self-driving software feature in the country, according to Bloomberg. Yahoo Finance's Akiko Fujita is here in studio with us and has more on this. Great to see you, Akiko. What do we know?
Yeah, good to see you guys, too. This was a whirlwind 24-hour visit for Elon Musk going into China. He had a slew of meetings with top officials over the weekend, including Chinese Premier Li Cheng. Now, that paved the way for the news that came out today. Bloomberg reporting that Tesla has gotten approval for its driver assistance system, full self-driving software in China. That comes through a partnership with tech giant Baidu. Tesla reportedly tapping into the company's lane navigation and mapping services. Now, working with a Chinese company is certainly critical for Tesla. It's a big way to get over some of the regulatory hurdles within the market because of concerns around data security. Bloomberg reports there are conditions attached to this, though. That has not necessarily been reported out in terms of the specifics of the deal, so something to be looking for. Now, the good news for the company, and the reason why we're seeing shares pop, is because what this means for the company's revenue. Remember, we were talking about Tesla last week, saw its first decline in the quarter since 2020. This is a new source of revenue if they're able to tap into the world's largest EV market. Specifically, the company charges $8,000 for their suite of features here in the US. It's $99 for a subscription. And of course, we're talking about not just the slowdown that we've seen for Tesla. We have seen them really been engaged in a price cut war, which doesn't seem like it's going to stop, and they just had 10% cut. So this is good news, at least from an investor standpoint, if they can really tap into this.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the question, right? What you just ended with there, just exactly if they are able to tap into it and what demand is ultimately going to look like. Because we've seen the problems, obviously, that Tesla is facing in China. You talk about the rise here of domestic competition, and they're also the ability to compete on price, which I think is huge, especially when you're talking about that region of the world.
Yeah, in many ways, the market necessitated this. Yeah. You could argue if you think about other Chinese EV makers, XPeng, Xiaomi, there's a slew of those names. I mean, they are all going in on self-driving as well. Now, something to consider, it's not a China story, a US story, but this specific, self-driving or autopilot, we should say, in the US, has been under investigation from NHTSA. So it hasn't been a smooth ride per se, but at least the fact that they were able to meet with officials, get some of these regulatory approvals, at least according to Bloomberg, is certainly good news.